Hey, welcome to the PortaKeeper YouTube channel. If this is your first time here, please hit subscribe and we'll have a lot of cool stuff coming here soon. But tonight I have something that I've been waiting for at least a year. It's the new Turin DF83 grinder. So there's been a lot of talk for probably the last 2 years about the DF64, now the DF64E and P, as well as the Niche Zero, being just really competitive, cost-effective, low-retention home espresso grinders. But now, Turin has taken it up to the next level. We have the DF83. So make sure to check out my other videos on the DF64, but a little bit of backstory. The DF64 just uses some traditional, they're made by a towel mill, but they're essentially a Mazzer Super Jolly design and type of burr. There are quite a few differences between the two, but I have both and there's a lot of similarities as well. So taking a look at this DF83, the big difference here is it is using 83mm burrs versus the 64mm burrs. So I've already kind of cracked this open, but we're going to open it up tonight. Do a little unboxing. Check it out. It comes in a fairly large box, and it has this nice foam that I like. It really makes for nice packaging, and I actually really prefer that it opens like this. I don't know if this is how they're planning to do their final boxes, but the DF64E that I just got, it actually slid out the bottom, I believe. So having it open the top, especially for such a large grinder, it's just really easy to unbox. I have a little stool here, so I'm just going to start pulling out piece by piece. We're going to start with the main event, and we have the grinder itself. It is very heavy. Now I want to note this has been used. I'm just doing some reviews on it, so it has a couple grounds coming out right now. Not a big deal. But there is the grinder. It looks really cool, and you can see it next to all these other grinders. And going from right to left, and I can scoot it over, we have the smallest, it's a conical grinder. We have the Turin SD40 on the right, it's the all black one. The next two are the Turin DF64s. Both of them have different sets of SSP burrs in them. Right now my white set has the more classic SSP for espresso. The green has the SSP that are the cast burrs. And then the next one over, I just did an unboxing and quite a few videos, is the DF64E. You can run it with or without the hopper. So it has the hopper, but you can also run it with a bellows. That was a nice walnut wood lid. So this thing is massive in comparison. It is very heavy. And I'll follow up with some pictures of it. But we're just kind of taking a look side by side of what are you getting with this DF83. So let's keep digging. We have our dosing cup. It looks very reminiscent to all the other dosing cups that we have. And if you notice, there's actually a little bit of a difference in the spout design. So all the spouts on all three of these are angled. The spout on this one is basically straight down. So I'm the PortaKeeper guy, and I developed these angled cup tilters just to kind of line it up a little bit better. It makes a little bit less of a mess. I don't know if you're going to need it with this. Maybe like a collar extension or something like that, but I like the more straight down design of this DF83. It also just looks really awesome. Something that I never really cared for on this white grinder. It looks great on this green, but I wish that some of these accents were white. And on this, they came through and they made them all white. So I think it looks really good. If you get a black one, it's all black and so on. So also, similar to the DF64E, you get both a bellows and a hopper. And they have upgraded their bellows. It's a premium option. They have these walnut lids that have these nice gasketed. It's very similar to the aluminum ones that came on the other DF64s. So I really like these walnut lids. It kind of gives it just a nice pop, and you can just stick it in place. Something that I didn't really notice right away when I got the DF64E, these hoppers or these bellows are just a little bit more streamlined. I'll try to do a side by side. They're shorter. They work just as well, really. Really easy to pop on and off. And I noticed that these two are the same. So the DF64E and P models use the same as the new DF83. So many letters and numbers. Trying to keep them all straight. And as I mentioned, very tight in there, we have a hopper. So it's the same hopper as the other one. It is kind of a smoked plastic, which I like, over the plastic or the clear plastic. I feel like the smoked really allows you to, sometimes the clear ones get a little dingy. I mean, you should wipe them out anyway with the rag, but just having something that it's just kind of a little darker and not going to show as much grime. So I think it looks really cool. Now, I don't know if a lot of people will run this without any electronics like you would on this one, but you do have this option, and I've not used this. I've never even plugged it in yet. But I've been hearing that they're getting really low retention even without the bellows. So having this nice open hopper that you can throw some beans into might be a really nice addition. Let's keep digging. I don't think there's much else in here. I think all that's left is a brush, and I don't think, try to focus, I don't think any of my other ones came with a brush. It's an okay brush. Let's focus. Okay, there we go. So that is the DF83 in a nutshell. It looks really good. Pulling it off to the side to some of the overall features, it's all white or all black, unlike some of the original ones where they kind of standardized on black parts and then they wrapped it in various colors of vinyl. This is actually painted, so that is a big upgrade. The dial marker itself, that was my first complaint on these grinders. It's kind of like a coffee bean shape and it doesn't really correlate up, so we developed these arrows and they have tried to rip it off and they are just awful. I mean, they do fit and I guess they do work, but they just look like a massive afterthought. I'm trying to take it off right now. It doesn't really match the aesthetics of the grinder. It's this kind of rough metal. The hole doesn't even really allow you to see the numbers in there. So I'd probably go with like an aftermarket dial indicator just because I think it's going to look nicer. The power button that a lot of people complained about in the front on the original DF64 is now on the side, which is the same as the DF64E. So that is nice as well, but that does make this base quite a bit thicker, having those electronics under it. And then one thing that once I put it on my counter, it didn't really bother me, but I wish they wouldn't have put this cord out the side. This is something that Super Jolly did years ago. I didn't like it. The later Super Jollies, they come out the back. I wish that if anything that it just come out the side, kind of at an angle or out the back. If you're completely out the back, you're trying to push this against your backsplash, you're going to smash that wire against the wall. So I'm not against having it out, but the original DF64, the way it's designed is it actually comes out the bottom and then there's gaps on the side. It allows you to go out either side quite easily. This one, you're pretty much stuck only on the right side, so I don't really care for that. But like I said, once I put I've not used this one, but the DF64E is the same. And once I put the DF64E on my counter and got the cord positioned, I just totally forgot about it. I just felt like it's a little bit awkward. So overall, I think it's going to be an awesome grinder. And I'm going to reposition the camera and pull the tops off, show you some burr comparisons, but that's kind of the overall lineup from the Turin lineup. So again, SD40, some DF64s, the DF64E. I don't have the P, I don't really need it. And the new DF83 with the 83mm burrs. I don't know, I needed to go look. I think SSP has one option for this, and they're just the traditional espresso burrs. But I'm really looking forward to like the SSP multi-purpose unimodal burrs. That's going to make this grinder just insane. I think Joe has these on pre-sale for like, I don't know, between $600 and $700. It might sound like a lot, but the same thing with the Mazzer Major, which uses the same burrs. I mean, that's a $2,000 grinder. So it's not made for a shop. There's no doser, there's no electronic dosing on it for a shop. It's not duty cycled for a shop, it's not certified for a shop. But you're getting the single dosability, the massive burrs, massive motor. You're getting just an amazing grinder for $600-700. So really hope SSP comes out with some really primo burrs, but I don't even know if this is going to need it. So let me move my camera. We're going to take the top of this off, take a little bit closer look. Just a sec. I wanted to note that all of these are sponsored by EspressoOutlet.net. So make sure to check out EspressoOutlet.net for any of these grinders or your other coffee needs. He sells espresso machines and all of these Turin DF64 grinders and the DF83. So make sure to check it out. Also make sure to check out www.PortaKeeper.com for your organizational needs. We sell the PortaKeeper. We also sell these dials for your traditional Turin DF64, as well as some of these cup tilters. So please check it out and let me know what you think. Okay, so I am dying to see these burrs. And it should be identical to the DF64 in terms of disassembly. This entire top just rotates off and you'll get access to burrs. So just start by taking off your bellows. You can set it aside. And on this one and the V3, I don't know if they're on the V4, I can't even keep up. They have these new dial markers that I said, I think they're ugly, so I'm probably not going to put that back on and use the one that I make, but you can choose. I mean, it's value, so it comes with it. You're good to go. But to take it off, just start unscrewing the top. And the inside of this grinder, and potentially it's never been a huge complaint of mine because I've just not had that many issues with alignment. But a lot of people have complained about the different springs on top and some alignment issues. I just take a Sharpie and I mark which corner to put my, it's triangular piece, so if you rotate it 120 degrees, it could potentially be off. So I just mark it, put it back at the same time, and it's good. So here is the top. Very similar. I think it's even the same dial marker as the DF64. It's just a much larger lid, and it slides off really easy. And then I mentioned the other one was triangular. This one is more of a 180 degree off. I don't even know what to call them. This pins to hold the burr carrier in place. So you could potentially put it on 180 degrees backwards. We're not going to do that. There's the first look at these massive 83mm burrs. Cannot tell you how big these burrs are. These are huge. Let's do a quick comparison. I just did a burr swap, and this I put in the SSP unimodal, and I have them to the side. Now, they might not look that much bigger, but I mean, they are considerably bigger. And if you look at the surface area, I mean, everyone's focused on the diameter. I'm focused on the surface area of these burrs. And if you look at the surface area, it's probably at least double. So there is just a ton of grinding surface and grinding power on these massive 83mm burrs. So extremely excited. I'm going to put this down and show something else that's a little bit different. So on the DF64, I mentioned it's 180 degrees, kind of like a triangle burr carrier, and you had 3 springs. This one has this, I don't even know what to call it. a very unique spring that looks like it gives, let's see, 1, 2, 3, it gives 6 points of contact on this burr carrier. So I don't know, we'll see how it does with alignment. I'll probably do just like a quick alignment test, but these are just huge. I'm really excited. Lay it on top again just so you can see the difference in how big this grinder is and how big these burrs are. Now, with a lot of big burrs, a lot of people are worried that you're going to get a lot of retention. I really don't think that you're going to get that much retention. You're not going to get probably any more retention than any of these other grinders. So, a lot of pros with very little cons, in my opinion. And the amount of transfer that you're going to get and some retention is, I don't know, I think it's negligible. I mean, you don't want just tons, like a couple grams, but we're talking nothing. So, really cool. I'm really excited. I am going to try to dial this in tonight and shoot some more videos, but I want people to comment down in the comments and let me know what you want to see. Let me know what you want to test. I'm not going to do it in this. I'm going to do a sound comparison video. I've already ran sound comparison, and without beans, it sounds very comparable to the DF64, but we're going to do it with beans. We're going to do it with the E as well. So make sure to tune in for that. Subscribe so that you don't miss it. Anything else that you want to see? I'm just going to be doing a lot of stuff with it. We're going to pull some shots. We're going to try it for some filter. I like to do Chemex and V60. Lately I've just been loving Chemex, which traditionally has never been something that I've really enjoyed. I've always liked the V60, but with some of these better grinders and some of these amazing burrs from SSP that I've been getting, the Chemex has just really floored me lately. So we're going to try that out, and just make sure to check back. The other thing, just I'll note real quick, I have a Super Jolly, I have a K30, and an Atom 75. The Atom 75 probably has the largest burrs out of all three, but 2 of the 3 are commercial grinders. I consider them bigger grinders. I probably won't compare it to the Ditting, but maybe I'll take my Ditting apart. It's a commercial grinder. I use it for drip. And just showing you how big a deal these 83 are. I heard, or just saw someone in the comments today say, like, how big of a deal are these 83 millimeter burrs? And comparing it to like 55 millimeter and the Eureka grinder and the 64 millimeter, 83 is huge. So really excited. Make sure to tune in, and I'll post some cool stuff. Thanks for watching.